you ever heard of a hero chicken? I have, and I'm going to tell you that story in just a moment, and that's what this soap is going to be based on, a heroine hen. So hold on while I share this story with you. I have several chickens around. They're scattered about, but the reason why I'm zooming in on Cindy is because Cindy is the world's best mom in the whole world. And I only wish I could have caught it on film. But just a few days ago, she was out in the pasture with her babies, which are now pinned up, by the way. And a big hawk flew down to grab her babies. You could see the whole thing just happened rather quickly. But she ran over and laid on top of her babies, and the hawk grabbed a few feathers out of her back. I don't know if you can tell there, but she protected all of her babies from this hawk. And I was just amazed, and she waited, and it just sat on her back for a minute until I yelled at it and it flew off. And then she got up and she checked on her babies and went on as if nothing was wrong. So, Cindy, you are a regal queen in my opinion. Betsy, you bad chicken. Bad chicken. So if you don't think there's jealousy in the poultry world, you're wrong. So anyway, I have taken one of these plastic cutting boards and folded it in such a way to create a 3-part mold. I want to make 3 different shapes of soap. I drew this on paper and tried to come up with a stylistic chicken, and boy is it stylistic. And I'm going to pour the outline of this first. This will be the blue sky. And for this I'm using a little bit of indigo and a bit of alkanet root. And I'll simply be mixing that into my oil mixture along with rosemary for fragrance. Because actually one of the chickens' name is Rosemary, and I just wanted to do rosemary. After doing that lotion, I was just in the mood to do rosemary. So actually, this is going to have 3 fragrances in it. Just rosemary in this part, in this first 3 part. This will all be, this is about a half mold full of soap that I'm making. And this is all going to be rosemary scented. Then when I pour the quote-unquote chicken part, that I will be using turmeric and yellow clay to get that reddish color of hers. I'm not sure that I can pull that off, but it's a lot of fun trying. So what I'm doing now is just mixing in my colorant into my oils. I like to do that first. If I can even get the fragrance in first, it's just so that I can get everything well blended before I mix in the lye, and then I can do it quickly and hopefully I have a successful pour. And I will let you know that this is edited quite a bit. And that is just so that you're not having to sit watching me do a lot of stirring and mixing, and because there are several sections that I want you to see, so I don't want to waste too much time on the inane kind of stuff. Unless you like that stuff. If you like watching mixing and stirring, I'm happy to leave that in, but it would make for a much longer video. And so here it's simply pouring it in, and it's a little more than that actually, because there are sections here that I'm pouring it into, and I need to make sure that it goes behind in certain areas to get a specific shape. That's the hope. I've never done anything quite like this before, so I wasn't sure how this would turn out. So this is about 8 to 10 hours later. I really wanted it to be set up and well and hard. So I did make sure I put plenty of salt in my lye water, because I wanted to make sure this didn't come out real soft, because that can be a disaster when you're trying to unmold sections. One mistake I made is that stick on the side. I put that there to hold the mold against the soap. It was a point that I thought would work, and it kind of made an indention instead. So it's not a major issue. I'm able to fix it later in the trimming, but wasn't fun. So now I'm just going to pull all this off. and I'll show you the sections. So yes, this is a little tedious, getting the different parts out of the mold, but there's the first piece, and the second piece just fell out, which is perfect. And getting this third one out was a little more challenging because the way I had the piece in there, but I got them all out. These are my 3 sections that will create my sky that will be around the bird. You have to hold on with me here. It's going to be how I place these in the mold. So I got a clean mold, put these 3 pieces back inside this mold, and then I put a red pipe in there just to hold everything in place. That's its entire purpose, is to help those to stiffen and hold their shape. And I'll take that out before I actually pour the soap. So now I'm getting ready to pour the bird part. And of course that, as I stated, will be colored with the turmeric and yellow clay. Now you can see there, I've taken the pipe out. Do you see how that one piece is kind of bent a bit there? It's so thin that it doesn't have any good structure to it. I'm not sure what the fix for that is yet for the future when I do this, but I'll come up with something. This I can make work, but it's just, I would do it differently next time. I think I would make a specific mold liner. Forget the purple thing in the wood box. I would create my own mold and then put pins in through the side to hold the soap in place. Just an idea. Alright, so let's get this next pour on. I decided I wanted this one to set up kind of fast. So what fragrance do you think I used in my actual Cindy soap part here? Yep, a little bit of oregano. Not very much. I've learned how to actually use that. You have to moderate it. So I've mixed a little bit of the oregano with a little bit of sage because I thought this would go so great with the rosemary. And that's how this is going to be fragranced. And I'm being very careful, obviously, with the mixing because it has that oregano in there. I know how fast it can set up. So I'm actually stirring this by hand. I don't even have the machine turned on here. I'm just stirring it by hand because I'm just not going to take a chance. Do you see that piece moving there? See, that's the problem. So I'm trying to fix that by putting my finger in there and hold it in place, but, you know, not a wise thing. But watch how quickly this sets up, which is okay because I planned on this, because I want to build up the top. I want this to be a tall soap. I don't have one of those tall and skinny molds, so I want to build this one up. I want her to be a regal bird. So this is the feet end. Her head's on the other end, and this will be sort of where the feet meet the ground. There really are no feet. It's just going to be flat, but yeah, you'll just have to wait and see. So this stuff really thickens, as you well know. So here I'm simply building it up because it gets really thick really fast, as you well know with this stuff. So I'm treating it like the pudding that it is. I'm not trying to do anything too special with the top because it won't let you. But I wanted it a little more taller. So that's what I'm doing, is just using this to build up. That's all I'm doing, is building up. It's not about how it looks. So I got it all on here. Now what you can't see from this angle, it's a good 1.5 inches over the mold here. It really is. So this is basically the bottom of the bird. So I'm not really going to do anything special with this other than just what I'm doing here. So I'll jump forward and next we'll look at the cut together. So I assure you this is not washed out. It's just that the window, it's early in the morning when I filmed this. That's the sunlight coming through. So everything's a little white looking and a little more shaded than it should be. Shaded's the wrong word. washed out. There it is. It looks better than it actually looks here. So that blue is going to be the sky. You have to hold on, because I know right now you're going, I don't get it. So wait till I have to cut off the ends there. Now you're going to see a little indentation there on the side. That's where I didn't get one of the pieces all the way down in the mold, but I can clean that up really easily with a little trim work. And I did not realize when I was cutting these, I was holding them the wrong direction. So you're looking at the upside down bird. You really can't see it. And here I was just trimming up some of the end off of it just to get a better look at it. I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the bird. You're looking at it and seeing an upside down one. I was so happy too. I'm there going, see, there's the neck, and I really was so happy with how it turned out. Maybe from this angle right there you can see it better. Again, it's upside down. Now I'll be trimming it, the sides and the top. You have to bear with me here. It does look better once it's cleaned up. Like that long edge you see there, all that I trim off. It won't have any of the bulges. It's just going to be a nice square bar. So I'm not suggesting that all animals are heroes or that life is anything than what it is. But every now and then you get a nice little reminder that we're not all there is. And I like that. What about you? Can you tell me about an animal in your life that was more than just an animal? Maybe a dog, a cat, maybe even a rat that you had as a child. Tell me in the comments about your favorite animal or a great animal story. I would love to read about them. And I'll be telling you some of my stories as we go along too. We don't just have to talk about depression and sad childhoods. We can talk about some happy things too. And animals do fill that gap very nicely. So if you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. Oh, and hit that bell if you want to know when I upload videos. Sometimes I do them every day, sometimes a few times a week, but I try to always put up fresh new content. So take a look when you get a chance and just hit that little bell. And again, leave a comment about your favorite animal story. I love those. And thank you all so much. You're just a tremendous bunch of people, and you're mine. I know, I'm really happy you're here. I really am. So have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.